welcome to the 105th installment of Em Alejandro, your number one place for sports, cars, video games, fitness. If you're a man, you're here. Mr. Alejandro about to tell him.
What you about to tell him, Alejandro?
I'm about to tell him about Mr. Alejandro's top 5 cornerbacks in the NFL.
Tell him, Alejandro!
TA drinkers, you ready? I'm ready. Let's do this. Number 5, I got Brent Grimes of the Miami Dolphins. I feel like Brent Grimes puts in that twerk, especially at the line of scrimmage. Press cover type of cornerback. He doesn't have a lot of speed, but he always stays close to receiver. Hit close, so to speak. And he always disrupts the pass. Shout out to my man Brent Grimes, Pro Bowler this season. He's my number 5 cornerback in the NFL. Number 4, I got Joe Haden of the Cleveland Browns. I feel like this young stud is putting in that twerk. Similar to Brent Grimes, somewhat of a press cover corner, but he also has more speed than Brent Grimes. Every now and then he gives up a big play, I feel like, but he also makes up for it because I feel like he has big playability also in terms of turnovers. He can get some interceptions and take it to the crib. Deion Primetime Sanders style, so shout out to Joe Haden.
Even though your bow tie game is soft.
Number 3, I got my man's Vontae Davis. I feel like he's getting better, believe it or not. He was with the Miami Dolphins, putting in some work. They let him go. Maybe they didn't want to pay him, I don't know. But now he's with the Indianapolis Colts, and I feel like this was his strongest season in his career thus far, especially in the postseason. He was balling. Unfortunately, his squad got punished by the New England Patriots, but I really feel like he had a strong season. Shut up! Number 2, I got my man's Richard Sherman. I feel like Richard Sherman is the second best cornerback in the NFL. Of course, if you ask Richard Sherman, he'll tell you, I'm the best corner in the league.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game.
But I think he's the second best. He plays a lot of zone coverage, but you have to also understand, because some people say, yeah, well, he doesn't stick to receiver. The area that he covers is on the outside of the hash marks, where the numbers are and the out of bounds line mark is. I've also seen Sherman earlier in this NFL season move around sides because I believe they had an injured corner. So I've seen Sherman move around, and I've seen Sherman still put in that work. I do believe that maybe next season he'll be the best corner in the NFL, but not yet. Shout out to my man Richard Sherman though. He's also putting in that work with advertisements off the field. I'm proud of Richard Sherman. Keep doing your thing, man, and keep talking trash. I love a trash talker.
And his bow tie game is strong.
But my number 1 best corner in the NFL right now is, drum roll please, Darrelle Revis, aka D-Rev, aka the best corner in the NFL right now. Man-to-man cover guy, follows receivers. I feel like the ACL injury did set Darrelle Revis back, and that season Richard Sherman was the best corner. But I feel like right now D-Rev is back to playing at that high level that he was playing when he was with my New York Jets, and I feel like right now he's the best cornerback in the league. I do, however, feel like Richard Sherman gets more interceptions, but I can't say Sherman is the best corner yet. Here are 3 cornerbacks that have the potential to make Mr. Alejandro's top 5 list, but they didn't. Let's start off with Antonio Cromartie. I love Antonio Cromartie. He has good size for a cornerback. A lot of cornerbacks are under 6 feet, believe it or not. He's 6'2". He has good leaping ability. He can also play the high point football. If you don't know what the high point is, that's when a quarterback puts the ball in a high situation and basically the wide receiver will go up and snag it out the air, almost like a rebound in the NBA. But since Cromartie is 6'2" and could jump high, he can play that ball and defend it very well. I'm a fan of Cromartie. He also has a lot of speed, so if he gets an interception, he's definitely a playmaker. He can also return punts and kicks. He's the man, definitely a playmaker, like I said before, similar to my man Deion Sanders. I can't put him in the top 5 right now because I don't feel like he had a superb year in terms of covering guys, but maybe next season. And by the way, I would love for him to return to my New York Jets, former Jets player, now with the Cardinals. You're welcome back anytime, my G. I love what you're doing out there in Arizona. Not to mention, a lot of people seem to forget, Cromartie's the original Odell Beckham Jr. with that phenomenal interception-filled game he had against Peyton Manning. Shout out to my man Antonio Cromartie. Shout out! Next up is one of my New York Giants cornerbacks, DRC, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Very similar skill set to Antonio Cromartie, believe it or not. My man DRC is a little bit faster than Antonio Cromartie, even though I feel like Antonio has a little bit more length, like longer arms, longer legs. Both of them are playmakers once they get interceptions. Both of them are superb. I feel like DRC had a strong season for my New York Giants. Believe it or not, I feel like a lot of the skill position players for my New York Giants are top level, man. I really do. I feel like if my New York Giants can build their defensive and offensive line, the Giants will be in the Super Bowl next season and not the Patriots and the Seahawks. But hey, that's just my opinion. Next up, another corner that put in work this season that you need to look out for is Chris Harris Jr., the corner for the Denver Broncos. I ain't know nothing about him. I got put on to him recently. I saw him in the Pro Bowl making some plays, and all season I kept hearing cats say, yo, look out for Chris Harris Jr., look out for Chris Harris Jr., because the Denver Broncos have a very good corner in Aqib Talib, and usually when there's one good corner, teams will try and throw to the other corner to basically test him, you understand? But Chris Harris Jr. put in that work this season. I expect to see big things from Chris Harris Jr. in the future. If not,
step it up, son.
and here's a player that fell off my radar, and I'm kind of upset about it because I really had him in my top 5 to begin the NFL season, and that is Patrick Peterson, the corner for the Arizona Cardinals. He had a tough season in my opinion. He was talking a lot of trash to Richard Sherman before the season started, talking about, yo, I'm better than you, this, that, and the third. He's getting paid top dollar similar to Sherman, and if you've seen my top 5 wide receivers episode, you'll see I basically spoke about how Julio Jones kind of put it on Patrick Peterson in one game. Now I understand that's one game, but throughout the season, Patrick Peterson was kind of giving up big plays. That's not a good look for a defensive back. Not to mention, Patrick Peterson has unbelievable speed, so I feel like a fast corner shouldn't be getting beat deep. You feel me? Patrick Peterson, tough season, it's all good. Next year, I want you to do this.
Step it up, son.
There you have it, folks. Mr. Alejandro's top 5 cornerbacks in the NFL. Do you agree with my list, or are you just absolutely disgusted with my list? And of course, who do you think are the top 5 cornerbacks in the NFL? Tell them in the comments.
Tell him.
Tonight's bow tie is brought to you by Countess Mara. Silver and silky, cause I like my bunnies milky. Tune in for more sports, cars, video games, fitness, and all that. Follow at Tell 'em Alejandro to hear my immediate reaction to live sports events, or if you want to hear me cover a certain team or topic, tell them outro music. Woo, get it. I said,
It's Mr. Alejandro's top 5. It's Mr. Alejandro's top 5.
You gotta tell him.
Yo, top 5. Gotta tell him. Yo, top 5. It's Mr. Alejandro's top 5. Mr. Alejandro's top 5. It's Mr. Alejandro's top 5. It's Mr. Alejandro's top 5. Mr. Alejandro's top 5. Top 5. Top 5.
T-E-A.
Tell him.
T-E.
Tell him.
T-E.
Tell him. Tell him.
T-E-A.
Top 5.